another banger.
Stonebwoy last week, he come and say, no, this Grammy article there, no, he name no day inside there, you know good at all. So yeah, he got some interview where explain what did they pay now, say Black Sheriff, Kim Paluta, them a name the there way he name no day. So Charlie, the thing, take him easy ground. I not gonna lie you. So this will be the interview with Stonebwoy and Grant. Watch it.
Aiming to capture the true image of the state of the Ghana sound.
Thank
Ghanaian
you.
sound.
Oh, no, quite big enough. Aiming to capture the true image. Okay, that on the side.
Right.
I'm not against any name that have been mentioned, and I stand on fact. Read where I said that
Yes.
the name Stonebwoy cannot be omitted when it comes to the true image of what the state of the Ghanaian sound.
Which I think people have not disagreed, but they are disagreeing on the premise that this was emphatic. Unless, of course, the overlord want to tell me, please do have...
Hold on. Continue. This was emphatic to high life. To hip life.
To hip life. And the era, it was very emphatic about an era.
But he mentioned some other artists who were not in that era.
Unless, of course, you educate us on that.
Which is Black Sheriff, our own brother, and Kim Paluta.
Okay, so,
And then he goes on this morning to say, Black Sheriff ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. Look, that's what's on the portal. Have you seen this? How do you explain that?
Okay, so we want to shift away from... Now, I'm centered on you.
I get it.
Yes.
So I'm centered on the Ghanaian sound.
Okay.
I'm centered on the article being half-dosed. TikTok has also expressed his displeasure.
Right.
and has detailed. Kokese has come to say that if you don't write your own story, so people will carry it from different angles, trying to pin it different ways. I'm grateful that in all humility, we cannot disagree with the fact that this is a very, hardworking guy who is undoubtedly representing and adding to the catalog, the culture of Ghanaian music.
Certainly.
So when Livingston says Stonebwoy deserves a mention in such in an article that would represent us on a very international platform, that same platform Stonebwoy has the most articles written about him on Grammy platforms. Check it
certainly.
out. So it's not. So that should tell you that it's not the platform. It's not about my name in the platform, but it's about some of the things that we have to stand up for. You understand?
Okay. So I have.
So what do you make of? For this is an example.
Yeah.
I definitely have to state I'm not attacking nobody.
No.
It's in context to the thing. Black Sheriff ranks as one of the Ghanaian artists essential to Ghanaian hip life. I'm confused. And then the details further on in the same. And TikTok says good attempt, but a very poor delivery. Not resourceful enough to be featured on such a credible space. It's like the writer deciding to write about the story of hip hop and R&B, however, missing some key and relevant information. I will advise Recruiting Academy to do due diligence, same words I use, to stories like this before publishing them.
Right.
Since it's of a great importance to the Ghanaian music industry.
Right.
This even further explains what I'm explaining.
Okay. So the reason why I want to omit the
TikTok,
the TikTok,
and
the
Kwao
fact that,
bit,
the fact that now it was emphasizing the fusion of the indigenous sound and dancehall, which is a borrowed culture. And to them, the poster boys at that era that was able to blend them was Shatta Wale and Samini. That is where we want to center the argument that it was emphatic. What is your position in hip life? Because you have always championed an Afro dancehall. The first time I heard Afro dancehall was from you, and that is a part you are chattering. People are of the view that what is your concern with an article that captures hip life?
But hip life is our foundation. Hip life will pay credits to high life, and everything that is today must also pay credits to hip life. So I definitely draw inspiration. I'm a son of hip life till today, but it doesn't change the fact that the article wants to capture the Ghanaian sound. The article is capturing the state of Ghanaian sound, disguising under hip life somehow, and we know better. We cannot sit here to have our sound captured, whereby it takes it all the way and comes back to. I'm making my points from there to Sheriff, our brother, and then Kim Paluta. I want to ask, what are their roles in hip life?
Maybe because of how they have identified themselves.
Are they hip life artists?
They identify themselves as such.
Have they said they are hip life artists?
For Paluta, I can stick my neck out for him. I have heard Blacko say he does high life and trap. I don't know, something like something of that sort.
Good.
Which obviously
Good.
traces source from the indigenous genre.
So do I not trace my sources also from the hip life inspiration?
So let me read this out real quick. Maybe to give you a better understanding of the issue.
I'm coming. And then it ends up by summarizing it up. It goes head and comes down.
Right.
Summarizes it up with, that's an artist of the year. King Politics is a new artist of the year.
Right.
And mentions a previous artist of the year. So believe you me, I know better in this industry.
Right.
I speak less. I need to tell you straight.
Right.
I speak less, I know better. I understand the terrain more. And I'm always a student trying to continue to learn.
Right.
When something doesn't make sense, by the grace of God Almighty and by the virtue of the people, an established artist like myself, who doesn't brag about things, those who know me in real life know that I know myself. I don't doubt. You know, I know what I'm speaking about. What I've spoke about is the same thing a TikTok is speaking about. It's the same thing Kwa is speaking about. It's the same thing some G8 article is speaking about. This article has tried but does not capture the full state of the Ghanaian sound. May it not hide under hip life to try to coin it in a certain way. Then what is Samini doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Shatta doing in there if their style is contemporary? What is Sonny Bali doing in there if their style is contemporary? Is my style not contemporary enough to be mentioned as even the current artist of the year? Are we writing in the past? I'm confused. There's a lot of questions I want to ask and I want to know also. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right.
That is what I am standing for on behalf of Stonebwoy, speaking the truth and saying, no, this is the vibe. And out of all the list mentioned, Stonebwoy is one of the ones who have come closest to the Grammys many times.
Yes, certainly.
So what will be the curse or the harm here if that writer finds a way to acknowledge our current artist of the year, so that still continues to represent a certain pie, a certain piece of the Ghanaian industry? You can disagree all you want, but I'm being honest with you. It is not about articles being written on Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy undoubtedly has it's been written about mostly on international platforms. In that list mentioned, Stonebwoy is one of the names that has gotten so much international write-ups. So what would it be? Is it that I want more write-up or no? I am here at this time, like you said, as an institution, a young institution at that. I have to lend my voice to stuff that will be.
Black Rasta has also added his voice to the brouhaha in the entertainment industry, especially between Stonebwoy and Shatta Wale. Everybody knows it's no news that because of Shatta Wale, Stonebwoy is doing all of that. So watch this.
I checked it out. Stonebwoy wrote on X that whoever wrote that article was very ignorant of the ongoings in the East industry in Ghana. Seen? And what did the article say? It credited people like Root Eye. Seen? And said, hey, Root Eye, he was one of the pioneers of dancehall right here in Ghana. And they mentioned Samini. And then they mentioned Shatta Wale. And then they branched into hip life and also talked about Reggie Rockstone. And even with that, they said there was rap in Ghana. And mentioned Ambule for his 1970s rap, Semewa. But somewhere in the 1990s, rap hit the coast of this country. And boom, so many Ghanaians latched onto it. And it gave birth to Hip Life as named by Reggie Rockstone. My brother, my sister, I saw that article as a refreshing article. Yes, if there's anything we have to do, we need to also be able to correct a few things. That is, to be able to keep the history straight. Is that correct? But let me look at this. If you are talking about hip life in Ghana, Reggie Rockstone's name will come number one. And I'm glad it mentioned it. Right? Now, when you talk about hip life in Ghana, Lord Kenya, or Bravo, and the others helped to revolutionize it, right? But the grandfather or the godfather of hip life, we all say is Reggie Rockstone. Even though a few years back, some people refuted it, even the naming of the thing and so on and so forth. But the man stood firm and was able to hold on to his legacy. Maybe that is what Stonebwoy is doing. But let's see if Stonebwoy deserves to be mentioned in the beginnings of dancehall and also hip life. I have never seen Stonebwoy as a hip life artist. I don't know if he even has hip life songs. Because in the days of hip life, Stonebwoy was still young and teething and did not actually hold on to the microphone of hip life. In fact, Stonebwoy, as I knew him, some of the earliest songs that he ever recorded were reggae and dancehall. I don't think that Stonebwoy is asking to be named in the book of hip life. That's not what I think. Now let us look at dancehall. Now they looked at the pioneers of dancehall in Ghana. And you know who they mentioned? They mentioned Root I. Is Root I deserving of being called a pioneer of dancehall? Absolutely yes. The very first dancehall song in Ghana, by my standards, was done by you, Root I. Sweetie, sweetie, found to me come. When I'm it's a Jamaican flow. The melody is actually borrowed from Luciano. But he used it. And Zap Mallet produced it. That was the very first dancehall song we had here. And today I'm going to close with that. My brother, my sister. Now, Shatta Wale was mentioned. You see, the thing many people don't know, and I know Shatta Wale is going to be angry with me when I say this. Look, Shatta Wale is older than Samini. Did you know that? Yes. Shatta Wale is older than Samini. The age he gives you all these years is his music age, just as some people have football age. Shatta Wale is a few months older than Samini. And I'm telling you this for a fact. He's not a little boy. He's just handsome and beautiful. My brother, my sister, Shatta Wale has been in the game for only God knows how long. He was just underground, struggling and suffering. And to God be the glory. He's been able to come up. One day when he writes his book, then you might see his real age and when he was born. I would not mention it, but I can tell you he is older than Samini. Samini doesn't even know this. That's why when he calls Samini Olu, Samini keeps quiet. In one way or the other. He's older than Samini. But he's been able to play the young card, the youth card, and all the youth have been able to come around him. And I want to learn from that. Some of us, we can't say we are 25. There are gray hairs all over us. No matter how much you try to paint your beard and your hair, you still will be pointed out as, hey, Massa, Effie Road. Ewa, my brother, now let's get back to Stonebwoy. When Shatta Wale started releasing music, Stonebwoy hadn't started. As Stonebwoy was told, Shatta Wale is a contemporary of Samini. They come from the same era, and Samini has said it time and again. But Shatta Wale has played the card. Oh, I'm for the youth. I'm young just like them. He sacks his pants. He dresses like them and tries to do things like them and all that. And they admire him and see him like, you know, he's one of them. But he's actually their father. I think it's a beautiful thing that you can use in marketing. I think if Stonebwoy is not mentioned in the dancehall thing, I think that he should be humble enough. Humble, please. You are doing so much. You are one of the hardest working artists in the world, not only in Ghana. What you have achieved, I couldn't achieve it in your age. No, at your age, I couldn't achieve this thing that you are doing now. And I'm so proud of you. Traveling around the world, performing on several festivals. For me, if you are an artist and you have never played on a festival stage outside, rethink your status as an artist. The festival is where different artists from around the world come together to showcase their talents. When you rub shoulders with these people and still stand out, that is when you call yourself tried and tested. And Stonebwoy has done it. How many Ghanaian artists have done that? But don't be in a hurry to be mentioned amongst legends when you still have many more years to go. Because in Ghana, when you are called a legend, it means they are ready to bury you. Are you aware? Once the youth start calling you legend, oh legend, it's synonymous with all man, all G, all G. There's nothing like living legend in Ghana. It means all G, you are off the road. Don't be in a hurry to be added into the book of legends. Continue working hard. Look, the accolades will chase you. Humble beginnings beget big futures. Think about it. I leave it here.